Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be doing my October mid-month wrap-up, reading and watching wrap-up for Halloween-A-Thon. And Halloween-A-Thon started on September 22nd. I've already talked about the books I've read in September in my last wrap-up. I'll have that link down below so you can hear more about Sallow Bend, From Blood and Ash, An Unbreakable World, What Lies Beneath, and Swaplandia. I also have a full review of An Unbreakable World. I'll have a link down below. I only watched one movie after Halloween-A-Thon started in September, and that was Lost Boys from 1987. I can't remember if I've talked about that one anywhere, but that was also for Vamptember. It was the group watch. I didn't watch it with the group, but I did watch the group movie. Lost Boys is a favorite of mine. I've watched it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. It's a great vampire movie. And now getting in to my October reads and watches. I only read 3 books in the first half of October, but I watched a lot of movies, so that's where a lot of time went. But the books I read were great, and I am happy that I read them and look forward to telling you more about them. 2 of the 3 books I finished in the first half of October were for my book club, the Indie Horror Book Club, on Discord. I'll have a link to the Discord if you would like to join for indie horror reads every month. And so I'll tell you about those 2 books first. They are books that I was really excited about from authors that I love. First, the September book that I finished in the early part of October was Lost in the Dark and Other Excursions by John Langan. This is a short story collection that I gave 4.25 stars when I averaged out my ratings for every story. I had 2 3-star books, 7 4-star stories, and 5 5-star stories in here. There were a couple of short and sweet ones. I actually liked both of the short ones. And then there were a bunch of longer stories and I believe they all had some sort of story within a story thing going on in them. The ones that I love the most, I liked both stories and was enthralled all the way through. And the ones that were 3s or some of the 4s just weren't the peak amazing 5-star level. But a couple of them, plus the 3 stars, there was some part that I didn't like as much as the other part. So it can't get 5 stars if I'm just wishing for the other part to come back kind of thing. Also had an introduction from Victor Laval, another favorite author of mine. It was a great introduction. It's a great book with amazing stories in it. Some on the weird side, some on the cosmic side. The October pick for my book club was D7 by Philip Fracassi, another favorite author. This is the tiniest little story. It's actually, I think this story was only about 50 pages, and it's about a haunted jukebox in this small town honky-tonk bar type thing. And this couple who's traveling through town randomly goes to this bar, and then is trapped in this haunting situation that they have to figure out what to do about it. I really liked most of this story, and my only thing was I wish it was longer to get more details on the characters and the bar, the haunting story. More details on all of it. And yeah, I would have liked more. So that's a good sign. But the ending kind of, I didn't like the very ending. It was kind of silly. All of it up until the very last page I really, really liked. And I gave it 3.5 stars. The last book I finished in the first half of October was an arc for The Graceview Patient by Caitlin Starling, which is a gothic horror book taking place in a hospital. A woman with a very rare autoimmune disease is doing a trial, a medical trial that is very experimental and very harsh. Very, very harsh. And most of the horror is just about that, like being in this traumatic experience in the hospital, having to stay there, doing this really harsh treatment. But there is an actual horror element that comes into play later on. It is a slow burn and will be scary if you think medical trauma and hospitals are scary. Otherwise, maybe not. So, The Graceview Patient, I really loved it. I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. Now for the rest of my movies I've watched in the first half of October. There are 7 of them. Most of them were from Halloween weekend. So 4 movies I watched on Halloween weekend. But before that, I did have 4 movies. First one I watched in October was Ready or Not from 2019, which is about a wedding gone horribly wrong. This woman marries into a game fortune family. They made their fortune on games. When they get married, they play a game as a family, and yeah, it goes disastrously wrong. Like, it's wild, it's crazy town, and so enjoyable. Disastrous weddings and marrying into a really messed up family. Yeah, it's good. I gave it 4.5 stars. And I went to the theater and watched Good Boy, brand new movie that has the main character as a dog, has the perspective from a dog, and it's about a dog that can see ghosts and is seeing ghosts in this house that he and his owner move into. The dog did a really great job showing the emotions of what he's seen and experiencing at this family house that is very haunted. It is a very typical type haunting story, but the dog's perspective is really, really good. I gave it 3.5 stars. I also watched Kill Bill Volume 1 with my husband and best friend from 2003. We're watching through Quentin Tarantino's movies, and this one, it holds up. It's still really, really good. Yeah, can see his love for kung fu movies in these ones. It's a favorite from back in the day. I gave it 5 stars. And the rest of my movies I watched in the first half of October are from Halloween, which is hosted by Slime and Slashers for Halloween-A-Thon, and then the Bookibus for Giallo July. And this was like a weekend crossover type thing. And they had Giallo movies streaming all weekend long on the Discords. And I watched a few new ones. And then I watched one of my favorites that's more of a Giallo horror movie. Not Giallo horror. More of a Italian horror movie. But the new ones I watched were Eyeball from 1975, about a killer who takes an eyeball when he kills, and kind of the mystery around that. And I gave that one 3 stars. Then Mill of the Stone Women, which was a pretty creepy, messed up movie from 1960 or 1966. It's about this man and his daughter that live in this museum type place that has these creepy stone women display. Oh, it's so good for creepiness, that's for sure. These stone women. But there's a big mystery going on, and kind of drama between the characters. Delicious. I gave it 3.5 stars. And then Who Saw Her Die from 1972. This one has hard content. It's about a little girl who is murdered, and the mystery behind what was going on with that. It was really good though. It was a good movie, hard to watch. I gave it 3.5 stars. And then Suspiria, a rewatch from 1977. That is such a good movie, such a great use of music and color to create an atmosphere and a mood. And it's just a beautiful movie and creepy, about a woman who joins a ballet school, and there is some shady business going on in this ballet school. Oh man, it is a beautiful movie. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I will continue to watch this one all the time. That is everything that I read and watched in the first half of October for Halloween-A-Thon, and I look forward to reading and watching more. And I'll come back with what I get up to for the last half of October. Let me know if you've read or watched any of these. What did you think of them? I'd love to hear about it. And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.